Shalom, Yasharala. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yehuda. Well, I see, looking at this Facebook thing, I see they done messed around and redid something else on it. But, well, we gonna get through it. Shalom, everybody. I hope everybody enjoying the Tuesday morning, 2017 upon us. According to the Gregorian calendar anyway. So we just pray, we just hope the Most High will bless us this year to, have a year of peace, man, Because last year was something terrible, bro. So last year was off the hook, Shalom, brother, shalom. So we just pray that this year will bring some peace, especially to my people, this year, and as well as to the to those in Syria, that'll bring peace to those over there too, man. Because if you look what's going on over there, that ain't nothing. What we got going on over here ain't nothing compared with what they going through over there. So, yeah, we still in Jacob's trouble and all that, but man, they putting something on them over there. And this, with Trump taking office this year, we need peace, for the black community as well as, those, especially in Syria and Africa and just all over the world, But we don't need that false peace, you know what I'm saying? We don't need that false peace, but we do need peace, though. We need some shalom in our lives somewhere, So the last year was off the hook, man. Chicago, look at Chicago last year. Man, so much death, man. I was looking at one of the videos earlier this year about the average night in Chicago with all that gunfire, man. Sound like Chicago sound like Afghanistan, man, And I've been over there, and heard all those bombs and rapid gunfire all day, all night. And that's what it sounds like in Chicago. I said, daggone. So, hey, I just pray the Most High will bless all of his people with peace. And all those who run around that's terrorizing the earth all year long, I pray to the Most High avenge us of our adversaries in 2017. Shoot. Heck, what we sit here praying for our enemies for? The Bible say, hey, pray to the Most High that he'll take recompense upon your enemies. He said it's a righteous thing for the Most High to repay your enemies to those who trouble you upon the earth. So shoot. That's what we all need to be praying for 2017. The Most High will avenge us of our adversaries who dwell upon the earth, just like those that sit under the throne of heaven, crying out day and night unto the Father to avenge them of their adversaries. That's what we need to do in 2017, man. Time out for praying for their health and well-being. Shoot. Yeah. Our enemies got to go. So we can have some peace. How we gonna have peace in the land of our captivity? How we gonna have peace living amongst our enemies if we ain't praying against them? We ain't gonna have no peace. What we got last year, what you gonna get this year? So until y'all start waking up, coming up out of these crazy religions, and start praying against your enemies, praying the Most High to take vengeance on your adversaries that dwell upon the earth, whether it be physical or spiritual, hey, there ain't gonna be no peace around here. So with that, hey, let's start 2017 off right. Let's start praying against the devil. Let's start who y'all call the devil. Yeah, the devil come in many people. He ain't no just red little dude with a pitchfork. Hey, he come in many disguises. He's a shapeshifter. You ain't figured that part out. The devil's a shapeshifter. He could jump in anybody. He can masquerade himself as an angel of light. He can make himself look like a serpent. make yourself like a dragon, and so forth. So once you figure out that the enemy is a shapeshifter, we need to be praying against this devil here. This devil was off the chain last year. This year, we ain't got time to play. We ain't got time to play with him this year. Unless y'all want to keep having funerals and praying and crying over people's caskets all year long, hey, something got to give. Hey, we need shalom, we need peace in our lives. And the only way we're going to get that is the Most High rid us of our enemies. Rid us of our adversaries that dwell upon the earth. So that's what I'm going to be praying for all year, and I hope y'all do the same with me. Hey, I need your help too. We all need each other's help, you know. But anyway, let's get it. This ain't going to be long, because we're going to keep on, continue on with the scriptures until I get to Revelations, and then from Revelations we're going to keep going, you know, in the Old Testament. So, and we almost done with the New Testament scripture reading. So, you know, and I know I've been gone for about a week or so, you know. Well, heck, I need a break too, just like everybody else taking a break. Hey, everybody running around and, you know, claim that they ain't celebrate Christmas, but hey, everybody running around doing what they want to do. So everybody else taking a break. Heck, I need to take me a break too sometime, and come back and hit it strong. So, you know, we almost done with the New Testament, so I plan on knocking this out, hitting it strong for 2017, and, you know, hey, who knows, by the time I get to Revelation, hey, it might be in front of our face. Well, let's get it. Philemon, okay, if you got your Bible, your Sefer, let's get into Philemon. This is going to be a real short chapter, so I'm not going to keep you long this morning. I just wanted to get this out the way, you know, because I know everybody going to be busy. And it's going to be raining all day where I'm at, so I might not have time to do it this afternoon. So it's already raining here. So anyway, Philemon, let's get it. And then after Philemon, we're going to be in the book of Hebrews. I don't know if I'm going to do that on this video, but wanted to get this Philemon out the way. So Philemon, chapter 1. So I ain't but one chapter. Philemon chapter 1, verse 1. Okay, still talking about Brother Shaul, Brother Paul, who y'all call Brother Paul. Okay, says Shaul, or Brother Paul, a prisoner of Yahushua the HaMashiach. It says, and Timotheus, our brother, unto Philemon, our dearly beloved and fellow laborer. Okay, he's a fellow slave, fellow laborer. Okay, it says, unto our beloved Apphia, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, Archippus, our fellow soldier, okay, and to all the called out assembly in your house, grace unto you and peace from the Most High, our Father, and the Adonai Yahushua the HaMashiach. It says, I thank my Father, making mention of you always in my prayers, hearing of your love and faith which you have toward the Adonai Yahushua the HaMashiach and toward all the saints. Verse 6 says that the communication of your faith may become effectual by the acknowledgement of every good thing which is in you and Yahushua the HaMashiach. Okay? It says, for we have great joy and consolation in your love, and because the bowls of the saints are refreshed by you. So what are you saying, the bowls or the bowels? The bowls of the saints. What were the bowls of the saints? The bowls of the saints were, if you go and look up in the book of Revelation, was talking about how the angels got ready to pour out their bowls upon the earth during during the judgment days, and each one of those bowls are filled with the prayers and the odors of the saints. So that's what he's saying about it, because the bowls of the saints are refreshed by you. Okay, he's talking about because of your prayers. Okay, as I was saying, we all need prayer. Hey, I need prayer. You need prayer. We all need prayer. We need our bowls to be refreshed by the prayers of the saints, especially in these last days. Shoot. Okay. So he's saying, verse 8, it says, wherefore, though I might be much bold in the Mashiach, to enjoin you that which is convenient, it says, yet for love's sake I rather beseech you, being such as one as Shaul the age, and now also a prisoner of Yahushua Mashiach. Okay. Verse 10, it says, I beseech you for my son one Simeus, I believe, whom I have begotten in my bonds. Okay, so he had, in other words, he was talking about a son that he had, that he brought into this world while he was still in bondage. Okay, that I had begotten in my bonds. It says, which in time past was to you unprofitable, but now profitable to you and to me. Talking about his son. Because back in the days when they was in bondage and slavery, it wasn't profitable for a slave to bring another child into this world. You know, because you got to remember, these white people, man, they was breeding us like pit bulls back in the day. You know, they find a stout black man and have him breed with breed with another Israelite woman, basically. You know, and the mulatto women, you know, that was the slave master's pet little pick right there. You know, hey. So what he was saying, Brother Shaul was trying to say, hey, it wasn't profitable for him to begat a son when he was in bondage and slavery, because hey, it wasn't profitable to him. It was profitable to his master, not to him. You know, hey. So it says, but now profitable to you and to me. Okay, it says, whom I have sent again, therefore receive him, that is my own bowels. It said, therefore receive him, my own son. Okay, to my brother Shaul. Verse 13, it says, whom I would have retained with me, so I would have kept him with me, that in your stead he might have ministered unto me in the bonds of the gospel. Okay, it says, but without your mind would I do nothing, that your benefit should not be as it were of necessity, but willingly. Okay, it says, for perhaps he therefore departed for a season, that you should receive him forever. It says, not now as a servant, but above a servant, a brother beloved, especially to me. But how much more unto you, both in the flesh and in Yahuwah. Okay? Not as carnal, but in the spiritual. You know. Verse 17, it says, if you count me therefore a partner, receive him as myself. Okay? And if he has wronged you, or owes you anything, or owes you aught, it says, put that on mine account. So he was trying to square up, you know, any wrongs, any debts that his son, the son of Shaul, owed you know, people or what have you. He's saying, put it on my account, you know, like father. Hey, if he owes you something, I pay for it. I take care. That's my son. Okay. It said, put that on my account. It says, I Shaul have written it with my own hand. He said, I've written it. I confirmed it. Okay. This is what this is my order. You know, this is what I want. It says, I have written with my own hand, I will repay it, whatever my son owes you. You understand? It says, albeit I do not say to you how you owe unto me even your own self besides. It says, yea, brother, let me have joy of you and Yahuwah, and refresh my bowls in Mashiach. You know, continue to pray for me. It says, having confidence in your obedience, I wrote unto you, knowing that you will also do more than I say. It says, but withal prepare me as a lodging, for I trust that through your prayers, okay, I shall be given unto you. It says, there salute you, Epaphras, my fellow prisoner in Yahushua Mashiach, and Marcus, the Aristarchus, Demas, and Lucas, my fellow laborers. Verse 25 says, the grace of our Adonai Yahushua Mashiach be with you, be with your spirit. Amen. Now, like I said, Philemon was a real short chapter. It's basically a letter from Brother Shaul to his son concerning their affairs. So that was a real short chapter. So with that being said, Hebrews, getting to Hebrews next, I might read a couple chapters in Hebrews for a few minutes, and then we'll finish the rest later. Okay. So we just got to do reading Philemon. Like I said, it was basically just a letter, between Onesimus and Shaul, talking about their affairs and how Brother Shaul would take care of any affairs that Onesimus had owed, concerning the gospel, concerning his whatever he owed, he'll take care of it and so forth. So Hebrews, okay. So that's gonna be the next chapter, the next book we're gonna be getting into. So I'll go ahead and start in it, but I ain't gonna finish a lot of it because there's 13 chapters. So I ain't gonna keep you long this morning. I just wanted to get this out the way, while it's nice and cool and out and the sun ain't beaming. There's a little bit of rain out here, enjoying the air and enjoying the Most High's, blessings of rain and stuff today. Hey, gotta enjoy that free water. Hey, it's good for your hair, good for the plants and everything else. So I'm trying not to get my book wet here. So Hebrews chapter 1, I'm going to start here, but I'm not going to finish it today. Okay. And like I said, we're going to keep going until we get to Revelations. Then for Revelations, we're going to continue where I left off in the Old Testament, which I believe was in Exodus, Genesis or Exodus. I got to look back in the older videos, and we're going to go all the way through the so-called Old Testament. We're going to start breaking that down, because I want to get into that, because a lot of that we're going to be reading for more than one book. Okay, we'll be reading not just in the Sefer, the one I got, or your King James Bible, but be reading in the Apocrypha and stuff too, Book of Jasher and stuff like that, because there's a lot of backdrop to a lot of the stories in the Old Testament that you ain't gonna get until you start reading those advanced books. Okay, to get more insight and more precepts with it. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with the Old Testament, because there's a lot going on in the Old Testament, than just the original story that we all read in the King James Bible. So, just like we was going over the days of Noah in the last video I did, it's a whole lot of stuff going on in the days of Noah than just what it said in Genesis. Okay, there's a whole lot more going on that a lot of people don't know, because they ain't read it. And they scared to read it. I don't know why people scared to read it. Yeah, shoot. I'm like this, I've been going to college for a little while now. And if I want to know something, I know how to go in there and get some research done and find it out for myself. I don't like being, just told something and then have to run along with it just because that's the status quo. Hey, I need to read the resource that you got that from, then I need to go check up on who actually wrote it and what his life was about. And then, I need to go get some more in depth. That's how you educate yourself, hey. If you just stay in one book for the rest of your life, you ain't gonna learn too much. Although, I had to say, this Bible, this word from the Most High, it's a living word, It's a living word. Once you can read You can actually take one of these books and read it, and you can come back the next week and read it all over again, and you'll find out some more information that you missed. So it's a living, you know, you just ain't gonna learn everything just by reading it one time and then say, hey, I read that before, you know, that's it. You know, read it a couple more times. You know, marinate on it, sleep on it, you know, take one little verse at a time and really decipher what the Most High was trying to get you to understand, and you start to get that understanding. And then you don't need nobody to tell you nothing else, because hey, the Most High gave you what you needed to know. He shows you in the word, in his own words, what he's talking about. You know. But anyway, let's get it. I'm gonna read a couple chapters. Hebrews, book of Hebrews, chapter 1. Like I say, Philemon was short, and I ain't gonna keep y'all long today. Verse 1, chapter 1. Chapter 1, verse 1. It says, Elohim, who at sundry times and in divers manners spoke in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. You know, because back in the day, he used to speak, when he spoke through the prophets most of the time. You know, he wasn't apt to try to show himself all the time. You know, but when the children of Yasharal seen the works of the Most High when he delivered them from Egypt, that might have been the first time where they actually seen him in action. But other than that, he always spoke through the prophets and so forth. So he's saying, verse 2, it says here, it says, has in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, okay, whom he has appointed heir of all things. Who's his son? Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay. It says, heir and of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Okay. It says, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person. So Yahushua HaMashiach is what? The brightness of his glory. Of who glory? The Most High. And what else? Okay, what else is it? The express image of his person. Okay, and upholding all things by the word of his power. It says, and when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high, being made so much better than the angels, as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. So like, man, and that's what you try to get so many people to understand, that, you know, that the Bible says Yahushua HaMashiach is the express image of the Father. And the Bible clearly points that Yahushua HaMashiach was a person of color. Then why in the world are my people still believing in this white supremacist? I don't understand, you know, because Jesus wasn't a white man. Who they called Jesus wasn't a white man, and neither was his the image of the Father. And who they, you know, in times past, they always paint them big old pictures of God pointing down at everybody, and the big old white man up there, and a bunch of white baby angels up there. Ain't none one black person up there in the church at all. You know, them big old Catholic church you go into, you look up in the ceiling, they got a whole memorial up there with all these white saints and white people everywhere. And you be spooked going in there, because hey, they be in there talking about some hymns that you ain't never heard of. And then you look on the wall, you see all these white people and stuff, and you get a culture shock going in there. You be like, well, where we feel all in at? All these black people, where we at, you know? And then you come and read the Bible, and the Bible blow your mind. And the Bible tell you, hey, you black unto the ground, darker than cold. And you like, well, two things don't add up. One don't look like the other, you know? And you try to tell black people that, you know, Yahushua HaMashiach was a black man, the image, you know, made in the image of his Father. And black people, they lose their mind. No, he wasn't. He wasn't black. He was a white man. And we love that white man. And they love that white man, too. I'd be like, dang, huh? You know, I had some words for somebody who told me that lie. You know, I had some words for somebody who told me that my Lord and Savior was a white man and I'm supposed to love all these white people. Especially after all they did to us. I might have some words with you. And luckily I ain't found none of them pastors who told me that either. I haven't seen them in a very long time. It's a good thing either, because I had some words with them concerning this matter. Like, don't you know, hey, y'all done taught us all this foolishness for these years, and I'm grown now, I done read it for myself, and you ain't about to play them games with me no more, you know. But anyway, just had to throw that out there, because he the what? What is Yahushua Mashiach? He said he's an image. He's where does he say? He said express image, to be exact. Okay, not only the image, it says an express image of his person. So, well, you know, that was last year. We went, I went over all that last year on what the Most High looked like, the express image of the Most High. You know, we know he a flame of fire and all that. And then we went over what Yahushua Mashiach, you know, what he was supposed to look like and what the children of Israel looked like according to the Bible. That was last year, and people didn't get it. Some people got it, some people didn't. That was last year. So now what? What we gonna do this year? You know, Hebrews. That's what I really want to talk to. Hebrews. What we gonna do this year? You know, last year we find out. A lot of us found out who we were. Okay, we find out who the real Savior is. Find out the name and all that. Find out all this stuff we find out. But now what we gonna do this year? Because last year, we found out stuff, and we also found out that, heck, still ain't nothing new under the sun. A lot of my people are still running around like rejuvenated modern Pharisees and Sadducees around here. A lot of my people still practicing witchcraft and sorcery. We also found out that too, and we found out a lot of us just plain ignorant. We found a lot of stuff out last year, so what we're gonna do this year, Hebrews, you know, hey, we still the only group of people in this world who ain't got an army. We don't have an army. We don't have a continent that we can call our own, you know, outside of the Africans. Okay? We don't have a continent. We don't have a piece of land. You know, we don't have nothing. We the only people still ain't got an army. We ain't got one missile. Okay? Every nation around the world got missiles everywhere, ready to launch. Okay? We the only group of people who still in the ghetto who ain't got a missile to throw at a wall. You understand? We don't have an army. We don't have the black-owned schools and banks and all that kind of infrastructure that we used to have back in the day. You know, we don't have a nation still. That's what I'm saying. I was trying to tell, you know, hey, we got to learn how to crawl before we walk, man, you know. Last year, a lot of us just started waking up. And then we went from waking up to being judge, jury, and execution around here as far as the Hebrews go. Everybody claimed that they right and ain't nobody wrong. Huh? Everybody acting like they ain't never sinned once in their life. They done came into the truth and now they holier than everybody now, right? Ain't nobody ever sinned, right? Yeah, right. Come on, man. Y'all not fooling me with that. Hell, cause last time I checked, the Most High sent all us over here because of the sins of our ancestors. So how are you gonna wake up in 2016 and be like, hey, I ain't sinned at all? That's what's going on with my people, man. Y'all didn't cut that out. Y'all need to learn how to crawl before you walk, man. Hey, learn how to take hold of the covenant first instead of trying to run with the kingdom that we ain't even got. We sitting up here trying to dress the part, trying to play the part, still trying in the backwoods, trying to cut up, you know, lambs and animals and all this stuff, trying to offer sacrifices to the Most High. A lot of us still run around here with fringes on and grow on our beards and not shaving our heads. And we all playing the part, right? We all playing the game. But we still ain't got no kingdom. We the only people still ain't got no kingdom. We ain't got one leader that could stand up for us. And we ain't talking about Barack Obama, cause I said the boy Ishmaelite. He always helped the Ishmaelites. He ain't helped us at all. He helped more the Ishmaelites than he helped us. So, hey, he say you know a tree by its fruits, right? So that would make him an Ishmaelite, right? So we ain't got one leader that could stand up in the United Nations and plead our cause to get our reparations back that they owe us for all these years. Not one man could stand in the United Nations and tell them white people and them Asian people, them Chinese people, them Japanese people, and all them other people, French, Italian, whatever the hell, give the black people they do. Okay? Y'all enslaved them for hundreds of years. Y'all owe them money. Not one black person of the Hebrews has stood up for the account of their brothers yet and said that. I'm still waiting. How are we over here boasting about us being black African Hebrews of the Most High? How are we boasting that we children of the Most High, that we children of Israel? How are we boasting about that? And we don't have a daggum kingdom. We don't have one person to go up there and stand for righteousness for us. We still getting shot in Chicago for crying out loud. We still getting shot everywhere. Police using us for target practice. We ain't got one leader to make them sit down yet. So, 2017 ain't the year for us to boast about being Hebrew Israelites. We still in the land of our captivity. Half of us still broke, poor, hungry, ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And all we can talk about is we Hebrews. Let's put fringes and let's dance and party. This ain't nothing. That's just the beginning. Yeah, coming into that truth is just the beginning of it. This is just the beginning of who we are. Knowing who we are is the beginning. Now that we know who we are, what the hell are we going to do about it? How are we going to get ourselves up out of this struggle? How are we going to get ourselves out of Jacob's trouble? Shoot, we know the Most High works for us. But every time you read in the Old Testament, heck, our ancestors prayed before they went out and slew their enemies. And the Most High was with them. We sitting in 2016, we praying for their health, praying for our enemy's salvation. But we ain't got enough strength to pull our own selves up out of the ground. We ain't got enough strength to fight our own daggum battles. We ain't got enough strength to fight against these devils. They say, well, vengeance is mine, says the Most High, so we just gonna let the Most High fight all the battles for us. Well, that's what we came to now, We just want to let the Most High fight everything for us. We don't have that vision of black people rising up together, united as one, and taking what the hell is ours. Goodness. And until we get to that point, and once you understand the Valley of Dry Bones, that whole chapter was talking about what? A revolution. That was a revolution. They were talking about climbing up walls and jumping through windows, and if they got thrust through with the sword, they didn't die. They were talking about a revolution, running up against their enemies. Shoot, man. We said we're going to still be here for probably another 200-300 more years until we start to come together as black people. Hey, how we going to, hey, as I'm saying, we ain't got time to boast. We ain't got time to boast about being Hebrews. We ain't got time for that. I don't have time for it. That's why I don't deal with it, half the Hebrews. I don't do half the Hebrews around here. For that purpose. Yeah, I understand we Hebrews. Everybody want to keep the laws and statute commandments. That's all good. But that's just the beginning of it. That's just the beginning. Now what? Now what we gonna do? Remember back in the day, you had a man named Marcus Garvey. He tried to get us all to go back to Africa, and them people put their money together to be able to go back to Africa. Through Marcus Garvey and his influence. Shoot, we ain't a brother like that yet. If we had a brother in 2017, did like Marcus Garvey did, and try to get us black Hebrews to head back to where we from, half our people still wouldn't go. They'd still be sitting up here looking crazy. Oh no, I ain't trying to go to Africa. I ain't trying to go there. Well, hell, that's a start. We're gonna have to go through there at some point. That's a start. Get from here to get over there. get that money. Somebody stand up for us to help us get that what they owe. And if they ain't gonna give it to us, we gotta do what? Do what our ancestors always did. Take it. Our ancestors, they ain't wait for the Greeks and the Romans to give them reparations for them slaving them in the Book of Maccabees. Hell, every time they slaved one of the black Hebrew Israelites, they came up with an army. They formed an army and they went and fought the Greeks and the Romans, or the Jordanians, and they went and took it. They took much loot. Go and read it. They burned down the village and everything, took all their money. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on when is the revolution gonna start? When we gonna rise up? Yeah. All is just sitting over here just getting slaughtered to death for year in, year out. This ain't doing nothing for us. Trying to try something new, right? They say, well, we got a right to vote. It's a slow process. That's what one brother told me. Well, some of your ancestors fought for the right to vote. It's a slow process, to bring about change. There ain't no change that daggum slow. When them white people get ready to go over there and make a change in the country that they don't own and bomb and take over their land, it's immediate. They ain't waiting 40, 50 years to make no change. So why the heck we waiting 400 and 500 years to make a change with people who hate us? I don't understand that. Well, let's get back on something. Let's get back on top. Yeah. Folks talking about Hebrews. So what? So what? Yeah, you're a Hebrew Israelite. So what? Now what? Now what we gonna do? Yeah, that was last year. We talking this year. What we gonna do this year? We gonna still be talking about we Hebrews this year? Now, verse 6. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 6. Verse 5, rather. For it says, for unto which of the angels said he at any time, you are my son? Talking about the Most High. At what time the Most High say to them angels that, hey, y'all my sons? He didn't. He kicked the majority of them out. Kicked the 2/3 of them out. Okay. Verse 6 says, and again, when he brings in the first begotten into the world. Again, the second time, when he brings in the first begotten into the world, he says, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him. And says another angels, he says, who makes his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. What would he mean, who makes his angels spirits? We know who do that. We know the Most High did that. But what was he talking about? If you go read about in the book of Enoch, concerning the watchers of the fallen angels, or the angels who you call them, right? Concerning the watchers, he made the watchers children, the so-called giants. He made the fallen angels watch their children die before he bound them under the earth. So he made the fallen angels who had children with the daughters of men, he made them watch as their sons of the angels die. Okay, and when the sons of the angels died, they became what? Evil spirits upon the earth. That's what he's saying. Who makes his angels spirits? Huh? Who makes the angels spirits? And once they die, they become what? They're evil spirits on the earth. It says, in his ministers a flame of fire. It says, but unto the Son, he says, your throne, O Yah, is forever and ever. It says a scepter of righteousness. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. Okay. The scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. It says, but unto the Son, he says, your throne. Sorry, I read that already. Verse 9, it says, you have loved righteousness and hated lawlessness. It says, therefore, Elohim, even your Elohim, has anointed you with the oil of gladness above your fellows. And you, Adonai, in the beginning have laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of your hands. Okay. It says, they shall perish, but you remain. Who is they shall that shall perish? Talking about these angels. These angels, some of the angels are going to perish too. Because he said, aren't the children of Israel supposed to judge the angels? Heck, we supposed to judge the angels. You know? So how much more each other, you know? And my people got that part down. My people love to judge each other. My people are all about judging now. Hey, you tell them, hey, we supposed to judge the angels, so we're going to judge each other. They got that part down. But the part of us coming together and unifying and becoming a great army in the last days, we ain't got that together yet. We got the judging part. We got the law, statutes, commandments, and who we are part. But the coming together part, we ain't figured that part out yet. It's too much division. Too much false judging going on. You know? We can't even get past white Jesus and black Jesus. So, yeah. So you're saying, verse 10, it says, verse 12, verse 11, sorry. Verse 11, sorry. It says, they shall perish, but you remain. It says, and they all shall wax old as does a garment. Okay. It says, and as a vesture shall you fold them up, and they shall be changed. But you are the same, and your years shall not fail. Okay. But to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand, until I make your enemies your footstool? But who did he tell that to, though? Who did he tell that who was going to sit on his right hand and make enemies their footstool? He was talking to us. He was talking to us if we overcome. Okay? That's the thing. We got to overcome this world in order to get there. Okay? It says in Revelations chapter 3, verse 21. Okay? Talking to us. Revelation chapter 3, verse 21 says, to him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne. He wasn't talking to the angels, he was talking to us. It says, to him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame. Talking about Yahushua Mashiach also overcame this world. So if we overcome this world, we could do what? Sit with Mashiach on the throne. Okay? It says, and I am set down with my Father in his throne. It said, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the call out assemblies. So there you go. Hey, he wasn't talking to the angels. That's what he said. At what time did he say tell the angels to sit down on his right hand? He didn't tell them that. We supposed to judge the angels. If we overcome, hey, we supposed to sit right next to Hamashiach on the throne. On the right hand of the Father. Huh? Hey. We got to overcome first. Overcome what? The world. What's the world we got to overcome? Huh? We got to overcome what? These principalities, these powers, this oppression, the systematic racism. We got to overcome our enemies in the flesh and in the spirit. Yeah. How we going to overcome our enemies in the spirit, but in the flesh, we praying for them. Yeah, we ain't overcoming them. Our enemies got to die eventually. Now, it says, verse 13, it says, but which of the angels, he said, at any time sit on my right hand till I make you my footstool. It says, are they not all ministering spirits, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? Okay. So when he was talking about who makes his angels spirits, okay, and his ministers a flame of fire, if you go and read in the book of the Apocalypse of Abraham, he told Abraham how to bind Satan. He told him to tell Satan to turn yourself into a flame of fire and cast yourself down to the lowest depths of hell. Basically, that's what it said in the Apocalypse of Abraham. You go read that. You know, I suggest you go read it. It's a very good word, especially for us Hebrews. Talk about how we gonna get back what the enemy has stolen, and they ain't gonna give it to us. He said we gonna do what? We're gonna conquer them. We supposed to conquer our enemies. We're gonna conquer our enemies. If we read the Apocalypse of Abraham, we're gonna conquer them, and then do what? We're gonna mock them, and then what else? We're gonna spit on them. Does any of that sound like we supposed to be praying for them? No, I said, hey, we're going to conquer them, overcome them, we're going to mock them, and we're going to spit on them. Like spit out your mouth. So, that's what I'm saying. Last year, we found out we was Hebrews. This year, what we're going to do? We're going to still be finding out we Hebrews? Or we all going to stand up, united as one black people, and get some balls and actually take care of our enemies? Like all the rest of the people of the earth? Heck, every other country, they ain't waiting on nobody to take care of their enemies for them. They over there creating factions and going out there and handling their business. And they pray before they leave. You don't think the Muslims pray before they leave out and go handle their business? Trust me, they be up at 5 in the morning with that loudspeaker going, and all that Arabic, right? 5 in the morning, praying before they go and blow your face off. Just like our ancestors did. Go read about the book in the book of Maccabees. Our ancestors prayed before they went to war. And it says even the Greeks said, them daggum Hebrews are invincible. He said them Hebrews are invincible because every time they go out to battle, the Most High fights for them. That's what I'm saying. How are we going from the Most High going out to battle with us? He going out to battle with us. He ain't just go out there and just wipe them all out for us. He went with us. Okay? He ride with us. We went out there and wiped out thousands. And he rode with us. So when we gonna get to that part where we gonna take the kingdom by force? That's what I'm waiting on. Good. We're gonna take it by force. It's gonna happen one of these days, whether you ready for it or not. Chapter 2, Hebrews chapter 2. Says, therefore, we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip. Says, for if the word spoken by the angels was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense of reward, then how shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation? Hey, how shall we escape? If anything, and basically what he's saying, that we ought to give more earnest heed, pay more attention to the things which we have heard, lest any time we should let them slip past us. Okay? It says, for if the word spoken by angels, so if the word was spoken by angels, was what? Was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense, of reward, and how shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation, which at the first began to be spoken by Adonai, by Yahusha, and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him. It was confirmed unto us by them that heard him. It says, Elohim also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders, and with divers miracles, and gifts of the Ruach HaKodesh, according to his own will. Okay? See, according to his own will. It says, for unto the angels has he not put in subjection the world to come. Okay? He ain't lead them the new world that's coming, the new heaven and new earth, New Jerusalem. That ain't for the angels. That's for us. That's for us. It says, whereof we speak. It says, but one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man that you are mindful of him? What is a man that you mindful of him? It says, or the son of man that you visit him. Talking about these angels. Heck, if we believe everything the angels tell you, hey, how we going to overcome? It says, verse 7 says, you made him a little lower than the angels. Okay. You crowned him with glory and honor and did set him over the works of your hands. It says, you have put all things in subjection under his feet, for in he put all in subjection under him. And he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him. But we see, but we see Yahusha, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he, by the grace of Yah, should taste death for every man. For it became him, for whom all things, and by whom are all things, and bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. Okay. Verse 11 says, for both he that sacrifices and they who are sacrificed are all of one. So he who sacrifices, Husham Mashiach, and all those who have sacrificed, meaning the body of the Mashiach, you know, the son, you know, the children of Yasharallah and so forth, those who have been sacrificed, you know, for the gospel's sake, are all one. It says, for which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren. Okay. Saying, I will declare your name unto my brethren in the midst of the called out assembly, which I sing praise unto you. It says, and again, I will put my trust in him. Okay. And again, behold, I and the children which Elohim has given me. It says, for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same. Talking about Yahushua Mashiach. It says that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death. That is the devil. So you mean to tell me the devil has power over death, which is also another spirit? He said through the death of the Hamashiach, he now has power over who? The devil and death. But was not the devil made manifest by Yah's will? Yes. The devil was created by the hands of Yah. I'll say the Most High can rear up evil and good. If you worrying about the devil, you better worry about the one that create evil and good. Shoot. So he said, verse 15 says, and delivered them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. So he was able to deliver us who one time feared death. Why did our ancestors fear death? Because they were subject under the law. And under the law, you transgress under the law, the wages of their sin was what? Death. You ain't getting no time to repent. You ain't getting no second time. You know? Because if I was still under the law alone, brothers and sisters, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd be a dead man. All the sin I committed in my lifetime. See, I'm not going to be one that's going to get up here and tell you that I ain't sin. Shoot. Hey. Better to confess your sins amongst your brethren, so that some might take heed and not go after that way. But hey, I can't sit here and tell you I ain't sinned. But if I was under the law alone and I sinned sins that I've sinned, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. And you wouldn't sit, and half of you wouldn't sit here and be watching me right now either. All y'all be dead, along with me. Shoot. They said, fear them, hey, fear death, fear the devil. For what? Fear the Most High. The Most High created good and evil. Shoot. Through His mercy, His grace, He allowed a lot of us who have sinned in present and in time past to still draw breath. Because back in the day, we would have died right on the spot. Verse 15. It says, and deliver them who through fear of death with all their lifetime subject to bondage. Verse 16 says, for verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Hallelujah. It says, wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, instead of the angels. Instead of being made like unto the angels, he was made like unto his brethren. I mean, he came in the flesh like we did. It says that he might be a merciful, that he might have mercy upon us, because hey, he could say, I've been there and done that. I know what that brother going through, because heck, I took on that brother's sin already. I know what that sister going through, because I done took that already. Since when there's any of those angels up there, that people love to put little trinkets in their house and put pictures of angels on their walls, since when did them angels up there do what the Most High Yah's son, Yahushua Mashiach, did for us? They didn't even care. That's what he's saying. The angels was telling them, he said, in verse 6, he said, but one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man? That you are mindful of him. That's how the angels feel about us. They said, what the heck is man? What is a man? Why are you mindful of a man? Why did he make this man Lord in us and then crown him with glory? So that's why we got to judge the angels too. Cause heck, they ain't too happy about Yahushua Mashiach either. Some of them. They looking at Yahushua Mashiach like, why has he got crowned? Why did Most High set him Lord in the angels and then crown him with glory and honor and then set him over the works of his hands? Who the heck is man? What is a man? The angels don't really care too much for us like that now. They have a job to do. They ordered to watch over us. That's their job. But heck, they don't really care. They looking at us like, what the heck is a man? What is a man? So he's saying, hey, it says, for verily he took not on him the nature of the angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Okay. Why? So he could relate with us. Shoot. How you going to have a Savior who can't relate to you?